Hey everybody, this is Charlie Musselwhite, and you're listening to Athena After Dark. I ain't lying. Thank you, baby.
Hey everybody, welcome to Athena After Dark. I hope you guys had a great week. Sorry about last week. My daughter got sick, and you know how that is when your kids are sick. They call and say, Mom, when should I should go to the hospital? Well, now's a good time, and so we went. She's okay. It was a virus, so thanks for everybody who texted and sent messages. Boy, have we had a great evening so far. We were on Open Road Radio with Gina Woods. It was absolutely fantastic, I have to say, with special guest Miss Karen Davidson, who will be on the show one evening coming up soon. Um, wow, yeah, and it's been quite a week. I hope you guys had a great week. And what about the great Charlie Musselwhite? What an opening! I'm glad that he's in my life too. So this week it's all about being thankful because we have Turkey Day coming up on Thursday. Of course, we all know why that we're thankful in the world. And I don't know if everybody remembers the story about, the Mayflower and the Pilgrims and the Indians all making peace and eating, but it sounds like a good story, and I think that's what we should do this holiday for Thanksgiving. Make peace, break bread over the table, and enjoy each other's company. So we have a great show tonight. Um, we have a guest, Miss Gina Woods. She is here from Open Roads Radio. We're doing a double header tonight, so that's exciting. I'm super excited about that. I wanted to thank our sponsors that we have. So um, we've had a heck of a day. Can I just tell you, it's been the Monday from hell, that's for sure. And the reason I say that is because our streaming service wasn't working, and then we got it all fixed up, and then the electric can behind the shop got struck by lightning and there's no power. So that's why we're in our studio at home in my American flag. Thank you to our veterans. Last week was Veterans Day, and we are grateful to all of you, past, present, and future, for all that you do. All right, Techno Research, Miss Maggie, South Country Inn. What a great place we stayed at in Daytona. Open Road Radio, Miss Gina's here tonight. Baker Drivetrain, who Miss Michelle, Bert, and Lisa, they're so good to me. And then Paco Frame, shout out to Ian. I hope maybe you get to watch tonight. So those are the great people that work with us, and we have more coming. So we're looking forward to that. I'm looking at the camera. My wonderful producer, my loving husband, Don. Thank you to you, honey. I appreciate you. Yeah, I'm looking at the camera. He's always telling me. In the studio and the shop, I have a little sign that says, look at the camera. It's down here now. Don't you dare. He's going to get the sign. You're so bad. I can't. If I look down, I can't look down and look at the sign. You're such a wackadoo. Oh my goodness. It's so much fun to be me. I don't care who you are in the world. I'm just lucky. I have a really bad camera. Look at my hair. I'm a mess, babe. Okay, that's it. I don't even want to look anymore. We're not looking. I love you, honey.
I love you.
Look at the camera. Okay, so I hope everybody had a great time. Hopefully, a lot of you have seen pictures from the High Seas rally. Wow. Miss Cheryl Daggett O'Brien, she has some of the best photos ever. Mailman, shout out to him and Miss Cheryl, I have to say. It was an incredible time. So many people, so many good pictures. So you got to look out on Facebook for that. Holidays are coming. We have a lot of good stuff coming up. What? Why are you laughing at me? It's a comedy show. I'm looking at you and you're laughing at you. Just say it, Ben. Just say it. I'm laughing at me, Ben. It's me being cute. Is it working? Okay. So back to that. It's the holidays, and I hope everybody takes time to do something special for Thanksgiving. Be thankful. This show is home of the 5 good things. It's all the good things that can change your day. I always tell everybody, 5 good things. My friends are having a bad day. I ask them to tell me 5 good things. Usually by the end of the 5 good things, they have a little bit different perspective. Some days I have to do that for myself in the mirror and just get up and tell myself 5 good things. So hopefully you guys have lots of 5 good things in your life daily. But on Thanksgiving, be extra grateful for them. It matters. Okay, what else? Well, I don't know. I'm so excited about tonight's guest because we go back about 20 years, and we've seen a lot of different motorcycle stuff happen We have a lot of people in our lives that we're both close to. We're all part of a giant moto family. So she has a show, radio show, and on Facebook, Open Road Radio. It's been going 26 years. Yeah, you can show some pictures. That's good. There you go. There's Miss Gina Woods, Open Road Radio. You're doing good, babe. Do I have to point my finger for you to change the pictures today? You're so good. All right. Okay. This is the Veterans Table event in Woodstock, I believe. And so she's just like me. She's crazy. You know, we go out and we do everything we can to do the best we can for our community. Go ahead. Oh, now you want me to point my finger. Okay. I'll give you my finger. Okay, check out this table, right? So the Veterans Table. I cried when I saw this photo. Okay, you can go to the next one, babe. I'm going to annoy the shit out of you. There she is. You should see the look on his face. It's pretty funny. There she is at the event. I love it. She's always bringing a smile to everybody's face. Look, they're all laughing, having a good time. There's my finger. That's their tractor trailer, and that's her making someone's day. I love it. There she is at 16 with her pan head. Or I'm sorry, at 26 with her pan head. It's awesome. Next picture. My finger. The girls. There she is. Marilyn, Gloria, Miss Chris Summer Simmons, Miss Lori, Struck De Silva. That's a crew right there. That's trouble. I don't care who you are. Oh, there's another good one. This is a Tiny Strider bikes. So the Flying Piston Builder Benefit is a breakfast that they have. They host in Daytona and also in Sturgis. Miss Marilyn Stemp puts it on with the crew from the Buffalo Chip and Teddy Morse, Harley Davidson, formerly Destination Daytona. So we all get together, and some of us are fortunate. This year, it's my turn. We get to customize little bicycles to auction off, and all the benefits go to All Kids Bikes. And they teach preschool age children to ride. So you can't beat that. Okay, there's the crew. So this is on the chase, and I know it is. There's Miss Shadow, Marjorie Kleiman, Gina. There's Miss Ellie Rains, I believe. Boy, I need my glasses. Cindy Pan. I love her pan head. That blue pan head right there says No Man's Pan on the gas tank. Oh, I'm sorry. That's Miss Vicky. Oh, and Sharon. Poor Spitfire. She's like, yeah, put your glasses on, damn it. Miss Sharon, and there's Miss Gypsy. Look at her. She's gorgeous. That's my ride or die there. Okay, next photo. Okay, this one's good. This is the Motor Cafe at the museum in Milwaukee. If you have not been to the museum in Milwaukee, you are missing out. You have to go. So last year we did Chicks on 66. Miss Gypsy and I were the mechanics for 40 wonderful, incredible ladies who rode from Milwaukee all the way to Santa Monica. And I had the best time of my life, but that is the luncheon. So there's Miss Ivy. I see Rubel. I see Boots. I see Cheryl. Jason Sims back there. I'm not sure who. Oh, is that Jose sitting next to him? Sure looks like it. Mailman. Who's on their phone in between Miss Shadow? That could be Miss June. And then Kathy and Miss Karen. So that's a good crew there. That was right before we took off. That place is amazing. The food is phenomenal too. Okay, you go to the next picture. Oh, look at that. There she is, Miss Spitfire and Gina. I love that photo. It's one of my favorites. Open Road Radio promo shots. There she is with Miss Gypsy. I love that picture. One of my favorites. So they're doing a Toys for Tots at the Brower House. This is a local organization that she works with. And look, I thought this was the coolest thing. We'll talk about this event. It's coming up. They got a bear. Look at him in his vest. He probably rides a motorcycle. I'm excited to ask about that. So we've had the first hour, which was fun with Miss Karen Davidson and Miss Dazzlin.
What town is that in?
And what town is that in? She's in Chicago. That's right, Chicago. Sorry about that. Did I forget that? I got all excited. You guys know how I get about the guest. I love talking to our guests because the show is really all about the guest and the answers to the questions. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to bring in Miss Gina Woods. There she is. That's Destination. That's at the Flying Piston Benefit Breakfast. I love that. Okay. Do we have her, babe? Is she there this evening? Are you split screening me? You're so good. You're the best.
God.
Hi, Miss Gina. Are you muting her? Unmuting her?
So
You gonna let her talk tonight?
you put so much into it. Hello. I am so
I can't
stoked.
hear you. Do you have your microphone muted by chance on
Nope.
your end? Boy, it's always some shit, ain't it? Hold on. I'm talking, Duns.
Can you hear me? Can you hear me?
Okay, go ahead and talk.
Okay. Can you hear me now?
Nope,
Can you hear
still
me
can't
now?
hear you. Hold on one second. So we can hear you through the computer, but not through my earbuds. So hold on a second.
Okay.
It's probably not Bluetooth. It's
I'm
always some
here.
shit, you know. I can hear it from there though.
I'm here. Can you can hear me? Can you hear me? I'm here and I'm
Okay,
so stoked.
I can hear you.
Okay.
You can hear me?
I can hear you great.
All right. So how have you been?
I've been fantastic. And it was so exciting to have you on the show. That was way cool. And I'm just thankful that you're in my life because we were together, oh gosh, like you said, 20 years ago. And it's just, that's what I'm thankful for. I'm thankful for friends that come back into my life and you being that friend.
Well, and that's, that's part of all of it is I'm grateful to have you in my life too, because we have been through some stuff together. We have seen a lot of things, that's for sure. We've seen the industry change. We've seen people come and go. We've lost friends, made new ones.
Yeah.
So we're fortunate.
Yeah, absolutely. And yeah, you are definitely one of the OGs of the industry, and that's big.
Miss Karen was really good on the show tonight. I had a
Yeah,
great time.
wasn't that a blast? Oh my gosh!
It
And you
was
guys are good
fantastic.
friends. I didn't know the level of friendship you guys have. That's awesome.
Yeah. Miss Dazzlin too. I really enjoyed Dazzlin. She's something else.
She is. She's top notch, man. She really is. She's priceless.
And that's cool. Don's trying to hook up the. He's trying to hook up my earbuds. But yes, I'm lucky that we all get together and we get a chance to get to know each other's friends. You know, we know each other, but then to get to know, that's important.
Yeah, absolutely.
Bigger
It's
family, you know.
yeah, that's big time. And you were great. You were great on the show.
I'm at a loss. So yeah. Thank you for that. I appreciate it. So again, Don is trying to hook up my earbuds so I can hear you over there on the computer. And you know how it is because you're 26 years into a show and you totally get that there's always something when you're in the learning curve.
Always something.
That's so awesome. So tell us a little bit about the show for the people who don't get a chance to see it, where they can find you at and what the show's about.
So it is open road radio, 26 years. Man, it's just flown by. I got to tell you, I can't wait till we're congratulating you on 26 years of Athena After Dark, the porn site.
Me too. Oh my
This
goodness.
is,
We have a time delay here. So
y-
I'm watching you on the computer and I can hear you. And of
yeah,
course, it's always some shit. So
I know.
Okay. So tell us about the Brower House event that you have going on for the Toys for Tots.
Fantastic. So we do a weekly bike show there. Not anymore because they stop it in October. Because unlike you guys, we have a very limited riding season, and it gets
That's
flipping
awesome.
cold here. So we do a weekly car show there. It's a car bike show. There'll be 400 bikes and cars there every week. It's pretty wild. It's one of the hot spots, probably one of the best bike car shows, in the state, let alone in this area. Um, and it's pretty neat. You'll get cool cars and route rods, and the same with the bikes. You have a whole mix. You'll get vintage and baggers and one-offs and all kinds of fun stuff. They got this one guy that brings a skull, and it actually is drivable. It's like a huge skull, and then it shoots flames, and he brings that. It's just some crazy shit.
I love that. That's the best kind. The best kind is the crazy shit, as you know. And 26 years from now, as long as I'm not having technical difficulties, I'd be okay with doing this. That's for sure. I definitely. So, tell us just a little bit about like open road radio. I mean, a lot of people know about the show. You've been on the radio for 26 years, but just to tell everybody else, there's more to it than what you do. You do marketing and you do so much more. You're working with a new law firm.
Yeah, so Disparity Law Group is one of our new sponsors, and they're just fabulous. I mean, I got to tell you, Larry's got billboards all over Chicagoland, and so I thought it was going to be kind of cornballish, and he's just a cool guy. He's just like, yeah, my marketing team, but we're going to hook up with you in a couple of weeks and talk more because you just
Florida.
graduated and
Yeah.
you're a paralegal, and I'm excited about that. I can't wait to work with you, and we're going to do some great things for Florida. As far as what Disparity Law Group, they're out of Tampa, and I'm excited. That's pretty close to you. And is that close to you?
They're about 3 hours northwest of us, but it's always good to have, real good lawyers because it's not what it used to be, and to have somebody that's genuine and true, you know what I mean? That's the most important part. And a lawyer that cares about the people that they represent. That's important. There's not a lot of that here anymore.
Absolutely. And that it couldn't be more said. It's a life or death, change. And it could be about life or death and motorcycle accidents and other things he covers. But yeah, it's good to have somebody that has your back. That's for sure.
Yeah, I look forward to meeting him too, like our Zoom meeting or however we're going to go about that. That is super cool. What a great show tonight you had. Karen is awesome, isn't she?
Yeah,
she is just
really neat.
and to talk about the book, it's neat because the stories in the book, and when you meet Willie, everybody's Willie G. Davidson. Oh, my Willie G. Davidson. So he's on such a pedestal in our world. But then to sit down and talk with him, he treats you just like everybody else. He's a regular, humble, just genuinely excited to have had the experience that he has had being a part of the family and the brand. I mean, he lives it and breathes it. And Karen and Bill do too. So, and that's so cool that you had him on for the book. I thought that was really neat because that's a great book.
Yeah. And, and it just came out, but, what's really cool. And I'm so glad that you got it and you read it. So you're way ahead of me on it already. But
you're going to love it.
And that's Karen and Bill too. Karen is just so down to earth, and she has no airs about her.
No.
So it's really cool too. It's really cool to talk with her on the phone or on the show because she's just, it's just real. It's not fake or airy or anything like that. So it's really cool.
I absolutely love when we go to events and we're talking or whatnot. She's so approachable, and she will stop her conversation to actually speak with people and talk to them, which is so cool because we all get it. We know, she's a friend of ours, but it's just genuinely heart-filling to see their interaction, the whole family, their interaction with the individuals who just, again, live and love for the brand. So
yeah. And I love this. I love Athena After Dark. I love this show. I want to know. Look, it's going to be really hard for me not to ask you questions.
Okay. So speaking of
But wait,
questions,
I
go ahead.
gotta ask you one question.
Okay.
I love the
Okay.
name Athena After Dark, and obviously it's because it's dark. But how did you come up with that name? Because it was so funny. Because you told me you're like, yeah, not the porn site, the real show, like it's a
Right.
real
Yeah.
show.
So when I send out emails, they'll go to spam because they think it's a freaking porn thing, which is fine. We dare to dream. But no, so in my younger years, I before they had the internet and all that stuff like that, I always wanted to be a radio DJ like you are, right?
Oh,
And so I would always think, well, I would have my show Athena After Dark, and we would just talk about silly, stupid shit that you really
oh,
couldn't talk
that's so
about on the radio
cool.
back then. So now we can
Yeah.
talk about all of it. So there it
I
is.
know some of those
Motorcycles.
shows on radio after
Oh,
dark are really,
yeah. Oh, yeah. Well, we had Howard Stern, so I thought anything was possible.
yeah.
You know what I mean? It's like I'm not going to talk about that, so we're okay. But yeah, that was kind of the gist of it. So when we decided to do this, I wanted to make sure that I got to document interviews like this and with other great guests for posterity because the internet's out there. Who knows? Your grandkids, my grandkids, anybody else's might want to go back and they see a video and they get actually find out certain things about the people in their lives that they didn't even really know, or the people who follow us in the industry, and the people we inspire, they can find out more about us by the answers to the questions than just what they see out in the world where we're shaking hands and we're doing business. And, we all know you're on the radio. We know that you're at every motorcycle event and that you represent very well to, doing good in your community. I know, look at the camera. He's like, look at the camera. I'm looking at you. You're over there. We're in our makeshift studio, so nothing is where it should be. But
Right.
yeah, that's the important part. So yeah, and I just wanted to do something a little different, and I figured,
You've
and
got
that.
a great format. I love your
Thank you.
format.
And
It's just
it's
one person. It's like me. I try to cram like 20 pounds of shit in a 10-pound bag, like every
nah,
weekend. Like
but
I have 4 interviews, and it's like it's just
no, but you have like a round table thing. That's really cool because that's entertaining as well because you get everybody's perspective in there when it comes down to it. And the reason I did this was because the fact that um, I'm just cheating. I get to see my friends all the time, and I don't have to go nowhere to do it.
right. But like we were talking earlier in the earlier show, gosh, we've known each other for so long, and how long is it that we've never got to sit down and talk to each other for like 2 hours? That's like we've never have. Even when we
No,
worked together.
I
There
think
was like,
once or twice in Cincinnati, maybe 20 minutes,
yeah,
maybe.
right,
Yeah,
right. You're
right.
just at
And then
events and it's busy and
when we were doing that first all-girl build, that was so much chaos of trying to get everybody together that we didn't have time for any of that. So,
yeah, but you as a
but
captain, you headed it off really well. I miss
thank
those.
you.
It was real inspiring for
Yes.
people. I mean, that was the first when you were in women were coming up to us and crying and just like
Oh
being
yeah.
so like, wow, I can't believe that
That
you guys doing
and
this.
the
It was
bumblebees. I got
yeah.
stung twice that day, I think. Yeah. That was funny. They weren't bumblebee. There was a wasp and then 2 bumblebees. I think the bumblebee zoomed me and I was like, "Oh." And then the
Yeah,
wasp got me. That's
that
funny.
was the
That was a
Chicago
good
Wasp.
event. Yeah. And that was a really good time because, you see now women back then were on the fray of it all.
Yeah,
We weren't the center of it. And
yeah,
now it's
20
so
years
cool
ago.
oh yeah. And just think the women that we knew when we started out that had actually been doing it long before. And look at Gloria. I mean, they
Yeah,
were foul to her. I mean, I know you the same way. I mean, a lot of the men didn't take too kindly to it. Now they all think it's sexy, except for some
right,
of the
right.
older guys, but
Look at some of
it's
the
cool.
women, Joe Vanoni and Chris Summer
Yeah, Chris
Simmons,
Summer
and
Simmons.
yeah, just
Yeah, they
really,
changed it.
yeah, really, really inspiring.
Yeah, for sure. And like even Chris's book, on all the women in motorcycling, it's just incredible, to see the history and the things that they accomplished. And still to this day, I mean, even Gloria at 98, she makes me look like a sissy. She'd probably ride 1,000 miles and look at me and go, put on her lipstick. She always put on her lipstick and go, okay, we're going to get dinner. Let's go. And you just want to go to bed. You're just like, oh my
Were you
gosh.
in that book by Edward Winterhold?
No, no.
Okay, then he did that Chicks of North America or something. I
Oh
mean,
yeah, I remember that. No, we were in the middle of doing all those builds and there was some other stuff going on. I think we were doing some charity builds, like live builds.
Yeah, yeah. I
on
remember
site.
you
Yeah.
guys were in New York and did that.
Yep, on the Today Show, and we did the Daytona Speedway,
Yeah.
but that was back when everybody was in it, and the industry is kind of like it's gone out of the television side because of social media. There's so much out there, so
Right.
but it's good. It gives us another platform, which I'm learning, and it's
That's okay. We're all still learning.
we're all still learning. So what else do you have to promote for the year? What are you doing?
So other than the toy runs, we are, and Larry gives to that so much. I mean, he just donated, a nice sizable check that we'll be presenting at the Toys for Tots. He sponsored the Sons of Speed, and we're up for another sponsorship for that. So I just try to get him to connect with that, and he does. And he pretty much has just kind of taken my word for it, my credibility for it, which has been great to have somebody that backs you like that for the motorcycle industry. I'm just kind of a liaison to get that charity or something, those monies. And it's been such such an amazing industry. You know that. It's had its challenges, but it's amazing.
My husband's rearranging the furniture. He's moving the TV because I'm looking at you. So he just moved the TV way over so I will look directly at you. He's a badass. I think I might keep him. He's really good. He's great craft services, and he's turning out to be a decent producer.
You guys have been together for so long. When's your anniversary?
So August 28th, it'll be 20 years, but we were best friends for 12 years before that. He was the best man at my second wedding. So, yeah. There's a country song in there somewhere.
Yeah, there is.
Yeah, there is. So you ready for some questions?
Oh, boy. Here we go. This is going to be so hard for me.
So the first ones are just for fun. So that's always good. And feel free to elaborate so they don't have to dig it out of you. Okay, you ready?
Yeah.
And it's an adult show, so you can curse, swear, tell the truth, tell a lie, whatever you want. It's fine. Okay. Dogs or cats?
Definitely dogs.
Definitely dogs.
You got two right there.
Well, all our dogs are sleeping all the time. Either they're old or we are. I'm not sure which one. Right. So apples or oranges?
Definitely. Oh, God, I love both, but I'm trying to stay away from the citrus, so I'm doing apples.
Apples. Are you a stock apple girl, or do you like dip it in caramel or peanut butter? Or...
No, I'm pretty stock. I love green apple. Green apples are my favorite. I love green apples.
Like the Granny Smith.
The Granny Smith. Yep.
Yeah.
I just love the crisp and the crunch of them.
That's funny.
And thankfully, I still have all my teeth except one, but I could still bite into it.
That's how it goes. Don likes the Honey Crisps. That's one of his favorites, and it's a really good apple. I was always a Red Delicious, and then I tried one of those, and I was like, okay, I'll have to give you. That's a decent apple.
Red Delicious would be my second.
Yeah, those are pretty good. So hotel or camping?
Oh man, maybe now hotel, but you know what? We camp when we go to the Sons of Speed, so both really. Yeah, I like a good camping, and I love bonfires. I had a bonfire last night. Some girlfriends from 20 years ago came by. One was in town from Florida, so I love camping, and I could smell the bonfire on my hair when I woke up this morning. So that's way cool. I still love that.
What's the weather like there?
Yesterday was beautiful. It was 57 degrees yesterday. So to us, that's a heat wave in November.
Yeah, I imagine so, because you're usually got a couple feet of snow by now, right?
Yeah, it's actually 43 degrees right now. So yeah, it's chilly.
And I'm whining because
it's really
70. It's 73, and I'm cold, so I'm such a lightweit. Our blood is
now to Florida.
You need to, yeah. Well, in March, Florida. Yeah, and they all come here and they walk around in shorts and t-shirts, and we know who the tourists are because it's 70 degrees and we got our jackets on and we're all like snuggled up and bundled. Okay, slow or fast?
Definitely fast. Definitely fast. Yeah, I'm not a slow person.
What are you riding these days?
So I'm riding, I'm getting ready to debut Sweet Melissa, my
Uh-huh.
panhead.
Yeah.
So she'll be out in the spring. So now it's a street glide, a 2003
So,
street glide.
Sweet Melissa, that's the one I got to kickstart that day, right?
Yeah,
When
girl.
your leg was all messed up. She's
Oh
like, my
man.
leg hurts. I'm like, ah, it's okay. I got you.
Yeah, yeah.
That was the
She's
first time I ever kickstarted a panhead. It was
yeah,
all shovel heads before that. Yep.
and you did great. I knew
That's
that.
a
Yeah, that's
gorgeous
the real
bike.
McCoy right there.
Yeah, and that's a gorgeous bike. That bike is fantastic.
Yeah,
Okay.
she's I've had that bike over 30 years. I love that bike. My ex loves that bike. He's helps me to work on it, of course, but it's never seen the likes of a Harley Davidson dealership or anything like that or a shop. So we
Right.
just do our own work and yeah, she's strong. You know, she's got heart, you know that when you've had a bike for a long time, that bike will go on, in for generations, hopefully, because I would never
Yes.
sell that bike. It's just
Right.
got heart. I can get on that bike and feel like one immediately.
Yeah, and it's a
That's the
bond.
bike that I've got two other bikes, but that's the bike that I just feel like one with.
Yeah, that's the
But the
bond.
straight light's pretty. She gets up and rocks. I've never had anything. She's real hardy. She sounds good, and yeah, she's a fun bike too.
Yeah, street lights are pretty cool. So, sunshine or moonshine?
Oh gosh, I read this one, and that's hard because I love sunshine. I can have to say sunshine, but a good full moon is the best. I love a good full moon. But sunshine, I
Especially
crave.
out on the lake. Full
Yeah.
moon out on the lake,
Oh
out on Lake
yeah.
Michigan. Wow, that's
Yeah.
a gorgeous scene there.
It
I
is. I
love that.
mean, you can't go wrong with a good sunrise, sunset,
Mhm.
or moonshine. And I
Right.
don't mean the liquor.
That's right. I was born in Oak Park, so I've been back to visit a few times, and that's like out on
I
the lake
don't
is
think I
nice.
knew that, or if I
Yeah,
did, I forgot it. So
my family's
you're a
yeah,
Chicagoan.
yeah,
Oh, I
Cicero, Berwyn.
totally would have
Yeah,
introduced you like that.
yeah,
Wow.
yeah, that's me for sure.
Wow. See, I'm learning stuff after 20 years.
That's it. We
I
always
might
gotta
have
learn
done
new
that
stuff.
before.
Top of the show.
So yeah, and that's why we ask those questions on the show. We ask all these good questions because you're from Chicago, correct?
Yeah, I am. I'm
Born
I'm
and raised,
homegrown.
homegrown. I love it. So, what's your favorite song?
Um, I'm gonna go back to the Allman Brothers. It's definitely gonna be Sweet Melissa or oh my God, there's so many great songs. Um, or Midnight Rider. Yeah. I think I'm an Allman Brother girl all the way. True and
I'll,
true.
I'll go with that. What's your favorite food when you travel?
When I travel, Harbo's gummies, they are the best.
I love
It's
it. That's a first here.
They
That
are
is
the best. So, like, even when John and I just did the um, did the run in South Dakota with the AMCA. We just got back from that in early September, or we started it in early September. I'm the one that feeds him the Harbos from the sidecar. And, I always have the bags of Harbos,
oh
just that he knows who to come to.
right. He knows who the sugar mama is, right?
Yeah,
Literally, you
right.
got all the sugar. That's too funny.
Yeah.
So, if you were a cocktail, what would you be?
I would be a Long Island iced tea because there's so many liquors in that, and I'm just all over the place, and I'm full of the
Yes.
mixture. So I think I have to go with something more than just one. I have to go with
Yeah.
all of them.
You definitely qualify as a layered concoction.
Yeah,
I would
yeah.
definitely say that. A good tasting layered concoction is definitely
Yep,
good.
it'd have to be
That's
a Long
that's
Island iced
fitting. Yeah, that's pretty good. We have to give it a different name though, like a Chicago iced tea or
Yeah,
something like that.
Chicago iced tea.
Chicagoland iced tea. That's
Yeah.
what it is. Might have to add one more liquor just to make it your own.
Yeah, I
Should do
like
that.
that. Good.
Yeah,
Well,
right.
next
Gin,
time you're
Right.
up,
bathtub gin. That's what
Bathtub gin. That's what.
Left.
Yeah. Well, you're so good. Hey, I'll leave
next
it to
time
him.
you're up, we're gonna do that. We'll
We'll
we'll add
concoct it. Yeah,
yeah,
next
we'll
time we're
concoct it.
together, we'll have
Okay,
to do that.
we got a plan.
Okay, I'm good with that. All right. So now we're gonna get into some serious questions. Gotta love it. So how long have you been riding?
Over 30 years. I had to think about that one today because I'm horrible with dates. Dates are just not my forte. I forget the dates. Yeah, except important. I remember birthdays sometimes, but I'm just a bad date person. So it's been over 30 years. So my daughter was like 3, and that was a long time ago. So,
How'd you get started riding motorcycles?
so when I was little, like about, I don't know, I must have been 7 or 8. My uncle came and picked up my mother on his bike, and he had a AFM bike. And did I say that right? AFM?
AMF.
AMF. Oh my
AMF, yeah.
God. Yeah.
That's it.
But he had a Sportster, and he always stoked those things. It was loud, and it was cool. It was rad. And, he picked her up, and I could hear that bike, all the way down the street. And, that's what started me looking all the time. Do you ever get that where you look?
Oh,
If
yeah.
you hear a bike, you look. I mean, to me,
Like,
that's
yeah.
just a natural thing. I have to, I just look. To me, when people don't look, it's like, oh, they're not a biker. It's like,
You got to
they're
check
not
their
real-
pulse. They might be dead, right?
Yeah, they're
What's
not
wrong
a
with
real
you?
biker. So that just stayed with me. And then when I moved to Texas, when I went to school in Texas, I dated a guy named Dirt, and he had this bike that had this long front end on it. We got there about 30 minutes before we did. And we would go to we would make a stop, and people would roll up their windows. And I was just like, oh, screw you. And I just knew it was in my blood. I just knew I wanted to get out and ride. I just wanted to ride.
Long before it was fashionable to do so. Yes. I understand.
Yeah,
that.
before I knew any women that rode. I didn't know any women that rode back then.
Yeah. It was the same thing here in Florida. There were very far and few between that you'd see a woman on a motorcycle.
Sure. I bet you were the only one for the longest time.
No, I had a couple of women. We had a bike shop here, and the bike shop owner at Brothers 3, his wife, she was a petite little blonde, but they built Easy Riders bikes, that were in the covers of the magazine and stuff like that. And she wanted a bike, and he built her a bike, and she rode that thing all over the place. And I was just like, oh yeah. So it added fuel to the fire, So
was she the one that inspired you?
Not so much. I mean, I think what inspired me was the fact of the matter that, someone said I couldn't do it. And I was just like, yeah, okay. That's a whole nother story. One day maybe I'll let you interview me and ask me those questions.
I know. I think we're going to have to do another hour after this. Let's go back.
We're going to have to do that. That is too funny. So, what would you say in motorcycling has been your biggest challenge?
At the beginning, I think it was, I knocked on a lot of doors. I mean, I hit the pavement by feet, and I did a lot of, probably the first 4 years, you would have to go, and it was still, even as late as, 26 years earlier, it was still a man's world. It was a man's industry. And that was challenging. It was a challenging time. I remember having to really try to prove myself. And, since then, I've just tried to keep it very, I've learned so much. I went to school for radio. I didn't go to school for marketing or any of that stuff, but I had to learn myself how to market, the show, and how to market and know statistics and stuff like that, which I sell the show primarily over my passion and not numbers, because I've never been a numbers girl. I'm not the bean counter, but I've had to do it with passion. And thankfully, for 26 years, people have seen my passion. But I got some closed doors, believe me.
It was
a
cool
challenge.
stuff. You do cool stuff, though. You've done a lot of cool things that some people only dream about, so that's the cool part, and can't beat that. So what is your favorite motorcycle to ride? I think we almost talked about that. And then what is your absolute favorite route that you've ever ridden?
So my favorite motorcycle to ride is my Panhead, definitely. And I think that Laconia, I think going up on the East Coast was so cool. I did that trip with Jojo Vanoni, and I did it with April and little Lori, who is on a flathead. That was really cool because we rode out, and I rode the pan, and they all had, I think Lori was maybe on her newer bike, but they all had, and Joe is, she was a speed queen. So, they all did it, but that pan had, her sweet spot's right about 80. So that was really nice.
Okay.
So yeah, I think it was beautiful up there, just going through New York and going through and not like downtown. I thought when we were going to go through New York, it was going to be like, oh no, we're going through the city. It was just beautiful country, and New Hampshire is just gorgeous. So we did a lot of riding out there. So I think the East Coast was pretty cool. Although I love anywhere I can ride. If I got to ride to the store, it's a good day.
Yes, I agree. That's definite. That's for sure. So when you were up for Laconia, when you guys went up there, was it for the rally?
It was, yes, Charlie.
And that's in June, right?
That was in June. We got an award for being the long distance riders.
Oh, neato. How cool is that?
It's so funny. Long distance USA women. So that was Laconia, and that was the 76th. So don't even ask me, what are they up to? They're older than Sturgis, so they're probably at, Sturgis is what, 84 this year?
I want to say they just had their 100th anniversary. They just did 100.
Laconia was 100?
Yeah, it's either they either just did 100 or they're coming up on 100.
I think they're coming up on it. I wonder. I'm gonna have to look at that then.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that was really
neat.
Cool. Yeah, and it's so funny because Laconia, it doesn't get a lot of people from the West Coast, obviously, because it's on the other side of the world. But I think it's just mainly Midwest and Eastern people, and it's too bad because it's such a cool rally.
It is a rally. Gorgeous ride up there for sure. So tell us a little bit about how you got into radio.
So I had a face for radio, so that was one part. Yeah,
it's so bad. It took me a minute. There was a squirrel ran by when you said that. I'm like, oh, she just say no, but okay.
I was like, oh, that didn't fly very well.
No, that didn't work out. I know better. So okay. Good.
So I went to school. I wanted to do, when I was a little girl, I was in a play. I was in The Wizard of Oz, and I was the Wicked Witch of the West. And I melted down onto the stage, and all that's left was my hat. And I got like this standing ovation. I'm like, oh, I want to be a star someday. I want to be a movie star. So that was not going my way, but yeah. So I thought, radio, and I just wanted to be able to be on an educational. I really wanted to do the news. I really wanted to be a news anchor, being like this movie star thing, but it was really channeling like the news. I really liked reading the news. And so I did that. I worked at WLS, and I did some news for them. I worked at WGN. I did news at a station at Skokie, Illinois, where I started Open Road Radio in the basement of this building, but that was now it's Q101. And I was just a news junkie, and so I wanted to go to radio. I wanted to go to school and do news.
And how did you come about deciding to do your own motorcycle show 26 years ago?
So my partner at the time was Chris Tiger Lady, and she. Do you remember?
She's so awesome. Yeah. She always went to the Isle of Man, the TT races and everything. Oh, I love to talk to her about all that stuff.
I'll hook you up.
We used to go back and forth, but I can never pronounce her last name. It's
Slowensky or something like
Slowensky, right?
Yeah, Chris Slowensky. So yeah, and she did that one calendar that was all the guys, and it was really we were in these very funny positions, and on bikes, and shorts or something. But so her and I got together. Santos, a good friend of mine, put us together, and we did a year's worth of research. We asked people, would you listen on AM or FM? Would you listen on the AM or PM? So we did a year's worth of research, and then I was working at a station at the time, and my program manager came up to me and said, hey, I know you've been talking about this show. Are you ready to do it in 2 weeks? And you don't ever say no. So we just did it. And I was like, oh, God. Yeah, you just go for it. And It was so bad. I couldn't stand to hear like the recording. We would record. I mean, we started out when I still have the show. I got like boxes in my attic of shows over the years. So we
Yeah.
started on cassette and we would have it taped. And
Right.
then we went to, no, we probably started out on 8-track. Then we went to cassette. Then we went to like those little MP3s. And we went to,
floppy disks. Yeah.
yeah. Then we
Yeah.
went to floppy disk. That was like the newest.
Right.
So, and now we've got the internet to record it. So none of those anymore. Somebody asked me, Cheryl Mann, a good friend of mine, who is the niece of David Mann. She's like,
Right.
"Can you give me that recording of my uncle?" And
you're
I'm
just
like,
like,
"Oh my God, this is going to take me like 3 years to find that for you, but I will. I'll find it." And I haven't started yet.
'cause it's all up in the attic, right?
It's
gotta
going
go
to
through
take
the
a long
attic and find
time.
it.
Yeah. I mean, they're all labeled, but man, I have to go through cassettes and CDs and all kinds of things.
That's awesome. It's good to have all that stuff, though. I mean, somehow you have to get it to where
Yeah,
they can see
exactly.
it.
Because I'm sure my kids will throw it away when I'm gone.
My wonderful husband, we've moved a couple times over the last 2 decades, and not for anything, we carry around about 400 cassette tapes that I wrapped in saran wrap because
Yeah, that's
he
awesome.
loves
Yeah, right.
yeah,
Because
you know,
they feel
what the hell.
obligated to.
And now it's novel, and just when you think, because we threw away all those albums that, oh God, nobody has a record player anymore. And look, they brought
Yeah.
back vinyl and the record player. So somehow or another, we're going to come back in fashion too. That's just how that
Yeah.
goes.
Oh,
Everything
yeah, for
comes
sure.
back.
I mean, that's,
The
yeah.
cork high heel shoes, remember?
Oh,
Oh my
yeah.
God. Oh
You
yeah.
remember those
Yeah.
candy shoes? I
Oh
love
yeah.
candies.
Yeah,
I love
that was
candies.
the late 70s, early 80s. That was the good stuff there.
I have a
Make 'em-
picture of you, and I swear they're in candies. When we were in Kelly for the women's ride, and it had come to an end, and you were all dressed up, and I was like,
They were
"Who is that?
candies.
Is that Athena's cousin? Who is that?"
No, that was yeah.
You were
And
on my set.
the blue
I
top
gotta
and
find
the
that
blue
picture
skirt.
and post it.
Yeah.
It's in
Yeah,
my
that was a
phone.
good.
I'm
I
gonna
even
find it.
I even brought the matching Ray-Bans. I carried that shit all the way across the country in the saddlebag of a motorcycle with a bunch of tools.
And
Just
by
so at
God,
the
you were
end,
gonna wear it.
well, that's because it was like, okay, we're gonna celebrate at the end when we get there, and the
But-
only way to really celebrate is to get dressed up. And I
Yeah.
wasn't going shopping. I know in Beverly Hills I cannot afford to go to the stores
Right,
there.
yeah.
So,
Yeah,
and if I could, I don't necessarily know that I would find anything that I would use in a practical everyday application. So
Yeah.
thank God for Macy's. You know how that is.
Jenny Bass says pearls too. You had your
Pearls.
pearls
Oh,
on.
I have my pearls on. My husband bought me those pearls. I got pearl earrings for that's what it is now too. Now I think about it. You just wanted me to be that girl. You wanted me to be that girl in the song. And she wore a pearl necklace. I knew it. Damn it. It just dawned on me. I'm so getting old.
Long.
That's
It took you that long.
awesome.
You're so bad.
That long.
That long. I'm just joking. It's okay. I knew it.
You guys are awesome.
Most days, yes. So, okay, next question. Who would be, I guess, sometimes people don't like the word hero, but who would be your childhood hero?
My grandfather. He was so
Okay.
awesome. He bought me my Cosmopolitans. He was, the magazine I was reading when
Oh,
I was
yeah.
like 14, 15.
Yeah.
And we and him were really close. He would smoke a cigar, and I just loved or a pipe. And I loved the smell of his pipe. And he would let me drive his truck. He had like one of those, back in the day, I forget what they were, but it was always a Ford. He was a Ford family. He was a Ford
Okay.
guy. And, he would always ask me, he's like, why he would have a jack in the back, and it was always in the front when I brought the truck back. He's like, "Are you going fast?" I'm like, "No, not at all." Then you must be stopping for some reason, because you're stopping, and the
And the
jack
jack's
goes
front.
all the way to the front. And he just knew me, Eddie. That
Oh,
was just neat. He was a really neat man in my life.
that's
I missed him.
awesome.
I really
That
missed him.
is,
He would come
yeah.
over for coffee when I didn't want him to. I'd be like hungover or, still be sleeping. And there was my grandfather knocking on the door with donuts and coffee. And he was just a really great guy. I really miss
Right.
him.
And as reluctant as you were to open the door, you did anyways, and you were so
Oh God,
grateful that you now looking back, you're just grateful you got to spend that time,
I
I'm sure.
really am. Yeah, he would have
Right?
found a way in.
Yeah, right?
Yeah,
Too much. Our
time
families
to
must
wake
be
up.
related.
Time for
My dad
coffee.
was my dad was the same way. He'd come in with a soda and a donut. He'd be like, "Fool, fool, time to wake up." He'd be like, "Oh my God. Oh, my head hurts."
Right?
Yeah.
But you
Yep.
gotta have that. Yeah.
So then who would you consider your motorcycle hero?
Um, wow. I think Joe, she was just such a woman of integrity.
Yeah.
Um, I think Joe Giovanoni, Linda Jean Giovanoni. And yeah, she had so much integrity. She really, I, I just learned so much from her. She was humble and and she was fun. She was real quirky, you know. But when we would go like to Cincinnati for the
Mhm.
show back in the day, like the
Yeah.
sea would part, if Joe was coming
When
down
she
the
went,
aisle.
that's where I met her. That's where
Yeah,
I met her for the first time. That
yeah,
was
the sea would part. She was just a really neat lady, and she worked so hard, at what her passion was, with
yeah.
Harley Women magazine. She was a real good worker, and yeah, she had a lot of passion. So I think Joe.
Yeah, that's awesome because yeah, she really did pave the way and open the door, her and Chris,
Yeah,
for more women to come into the fray. So and
yeah,
build up who we
absolutely.
are. Yeah, there's no doubt about that. So if you could tell me what your most cherished motorcycle memory would be.
Oh my God, I should have read that question and been ready for that.
It's okay. We got all the time in the world.
um, I don't, I think, wow, wow, that's a lot. There's a lot.
Wow.
I think hitting 25 years maybe for the show, just because I felt like I would call battery tender and say, hey, we've got a really great promotion coming up, and they would say, just send us the invoice. I was like, wow, I made it. This is the
Nice.
real deal. Because, like, if I could send an invoice, 1,900 miles away, and they were going to take, my word over the phone without seeing anything. I mean, I think that 25-year mark really, really hit home. And I was like, okay, I'm ready to go on to something else. And then I got a really great sponsor, and I was like, okay, I'm here for another spin, But I think making it 25 years
Yeah, because you
really.
earned your way. You did earn your way. It
Well,
wasn't
it was
easy.
challenging,
Mhm.
it's really hard to sell advertising in snow, when there's 5 feet of snow or 2 feet of
Right.
snow outside. So, yeah, I think the 25-year mark really, really spoke volumes to me.
That is cool. Okay, so the next question, you're gonna love this. There's probably a few of them in there, but what is your craziest roadside breakdown memory? Doesn't have to
Oh
be you, can be
god,
you or somebody else. But if you think back, what's the craziest roadside breakdown
I
memory?
actually got this one without. Yeah. So I was coming back, I think, from the Laconia trip, and everybody had gone on because my pad was breaking down. I mean, here it had just gone, like 1,200 miles, and it lasted the week. And so she was getting really temperamental on the way
Yeah, I
home.
know.
And so I called John and I'm like, okay, what do I got to do? Something was, what the hell was it? I know that I took um, oh God, now I'm going to look stupid. I know I took what do you put in not the breather, into to the carb, to change it's a little tiny,
The jet?
yes, I took a jet
Yes.
and keyed it into the motor because there was a blow. It was blowing out, and so it kept dying. And I found that in my tool bag. But I had been up and down the road. He said, "Get out on the highway. Well, get out on the highway. Get off go back and forth and find something round and silver. He used to talk to me, and I broke down on the way to Sturgis, and he would talk to me. It would be like over the phone.
Oh
And I
yeah.
would get the bike running. But so I got it running, and I made it. I was at a rest stop in Ohio, and I made it into Chicago, and I was in South Chicago, and I was in the bad part of town, and it was popping like crazy.
Oh, like
I mean,
gunfire.
super loud, and it sounded like there were shots coming out, and I'm like,
Right.
fucking wrong neighborhood to do this. Yeah, I mean, it was coming. First, I had put gum in it, and then that blew out somewhere in, probably like 2 miles down the road. I put gum. I was thinking, okay, I'm going to plug that hole up. But then
Some sort of a vacuum leak, obviously.
that jet. Yeah. Then I found that jet, and that lasted till I got into Chicago.
Got you home. That's what's important. That's funny. I like that. That's it too. You're just like, oh my God, I'm in the wrong part of that. People are gonna start shooting back, and I don't even have a gun, right?
Exactly. That's what
funny.
it felt like. It's like, oh man,
That
I'm in the wrong place.
Berwyn?
No, further south.
Oh, it's been a while too, right?
Just out of Gary, I think,
Oh,
so, yeah.
yeah.
So it was not, yeah, they called somebody
back
like,
then.
you gotta come get me. I think I was whispering. I was like, you gotta come get me.
That's too funny. So if you could go back and tell your 25-year-old self something, what would that be?
Oh my gosh. I would tell myself, just do it. Just keep doing it. It'll get better, because it was challenging. It was, just starting the show and keeping up with it. Like I said, with selling advertising, I would say just keep going. Just keep going, because it gets better, and it did. It got better. I mean, look, I get to meet
26
and
years.
be with people, and if I'm so thankful and grateful for what this industry. We're talking about it in the last show. How we've met just amazing people, and Karen was like, "Oh, I've just met so many amazing people," and
She's
yeah,
incredible,
this
yeah.
industry really brings people together, and like you said, a motorcycle family.
Yeah.
I would just tell myself, keep going. It gets better. It gets better. So
It
don't
gets
stop.
better. Okay, that's a good one. I like that. Because that's really truly what it is that find the strength in you every day just to get up. You don't feel like getting up, just get up anyways. Just do it. It'll happen.
But
Okay.
I mean, it wasn't so hard with a job like this. I was eager, overwhelmed a lot, but just eager.
Right.
I loved coming in the office and being able to work on something that I'm so passionate about.
Yeah, and a lot of people, they wish for that all the time, because they always say that. My dad used to tell me that, if you love what you do, you never work a day in your life.
Yeah. One of our setup guys, Pat, he works at a cosmetic auto. He works at an auto rebuilding, and he hates his job. I mean, he just complains all the time, and I just feel so bad. I'm like, retire already. You said you were going to retire.
Right.
But he just hates it every single day. And I'm just like, that's so sad.
Right. And they don't tell you, like in that thing they say, with mice and men, some things often go awry. They never tell you the end of that, that things often go awry. Same thing though, when they tell you, the best laid plans of mice and men they often go awry, Okay.
Yeah.
So yeah, that one, the tongue twister. But when they say to you, if you do what you love, you'll never work a day in your life. And that's true. But they don't say you won't struggle, and they don't say you won't celebrate. There's all of those things in between. It's just such a meld of all of it. And
I mean, I can't believe 26 years have gone by so fast. I'm just like, wow. I mean, we all know that our kids grow up too fast, but wow, just 25 years just blew by, you know,
quickly.
And there were a lot of challenges.
Quickly. Yeah, and that's what makes us who we are, and appreciate the things that we do appreciate because of those challenges. So good, bad, or indifferent, they make you who you are. That's the important part.
Yeah.
So
definitely.
Okay. So then, if money and time didn't matter, and you could take a road trip on your motorcycle anywhere with anyone, where would you go, and who would that be with?
Man, Okay, so I rode in Africa, which was really cool. I rode with a
Oh,
resort. Yeah, I rode on the back with the
okay.
resort. He was the resort manager, and he put a sticker. See, I thought it would be my dogs.
No, it's fine. Tookie doesn't know how not to because she's all the way out there too. That's how loud a dog this big can be.
Yeah.
And it
So
was a
that was,
motorcycle going by. That's what it
yeah.
was. She had to bark.
So it was so cool because he took me, he's like, hey, I'm going to go into town. And he let me ride around. You know, we were in a very high end, it was beautiful. It was
That's
amazing. My
cool.
sister got married in Africa and she worked there. And so she got married on an island. But so we went in Tanzania. We were there at the resort and he let me ride around the resort, which was really cool. Just a little, God, what was that bike? It started with a P, I think, and it was not a familiar bike to me, but it was just like a Triumph, you know, in a way.
Right.
And he put an open road radio sticker on it. I thought that was so cool. And he took me into town, and we were going over. Like I thought we were like on this endurance ride, and like we were going over big ridges in the dirt, and I was like, whoa, I would have never been able to ride this. It was like crazy. So then we went through sand and we went through bridges and we went, through water and like mud. And I was like, whoa, I would have, they kind of might on the back. But it was really cool. I'd like to go back and do a tour in Africa. A friend of mine runs a touring company there, and Alex, and that would be really cool. But there's so many different. Nepal asked me to come in, be a reporter on their tour, but then the COVID came and shut down the
Yeah.
borders, so I didn't get to go. But I know that uh, Doug Wolfe, he always goes, and it looks amazing. I
He
think I'd like
does.
to tour out of uh, out of the country and probably something that I'm not used to. We got flat
Right.
lands here,
Same here.
I've done South Dakota and I've done New Hampshire,
Hmm.
and around there, Maine and Rhode Island, all those little ones. But yeah, I think a tour across abroad would be really cool.
And who would you take with you?
I'd love to take Jake. Jake would be fun because he's young and he's really
That's your son,
sees things
right?
different. Yeah. He sees things different in a different light than, my age. So yeah, he's got a
Right.
refreshing outlook on stuff. And yeah, I just need that young perspective. So yeah, I think
Yeah. Yeah.
that would be a
That'd be
blast.
cool. That would be cool. Okay. So we're getting close here. Tell us some
To the
tell us
finish
something.
line.
We're close. So tell us something good about yourself that most people don't know.
Oh wow. That most people don't know. Hmm.
Hmm.
I was gonna say I really have a soft spot, but I'm
We know
caring.
that. We know
Oh, you
that.
do?
Like,
Okay.
like do you knit like I don't know, incredible
Oh,
sweaters? Do you
something like
you
that.
that could be something.
I love to be outside. I love to garden. I love to garden. And if I wasn't in radio, I'd probably be an interior designer. I mean, I don't even have any space on my walls anymore for years
Right?
because I got so much shit on my walls, like throughout my house.
Same here.
It looks like a secondhand store, because I just got vintage stuff up and all kinds of stuff.
Right?
So I love to decorate and I love to put things, things that are me, about me or family. I
Right.
love to garden. I love to garden. I love being
That's
outside.
cool.
Yeah,
So you love to garden. So what's your favorite plant or flower?
sunflower, definitely.
Oh, I
I
love
want to
it.
have. I've been looking at land in Racine. I found this one farm. It's way over my price range, but I want 2 donkeys and a sunflower field and an Airbnb and a wedding venue, and it offers
Oh,
all of that except the donkeys and sunflower field, which I would do. I want my own sunflower field because I'm tired of just going to Sturgis and seeing them on the side.
I love that. And every time I see a sunflower, it's so crazy because My dad used to grow them when we lived in California up in the Redwood
Really?
Mountains, but he grew them so he could grow the weed plants behind it because they were tall. So
That's
it's a whole different story.
well, he must have had a lot.
50 acres of sunflowers for his wife. Remember, just
Who
in
was
the
that?
news. That old
Oh,
man in the
yeah.
news, like
There
over
was
the
a
summer.
news story. This elderly gentleman, he just planted 50 acres of sunflowers for his wife
Yeah, it was in the
because she
news.
wanted sunflowers. It was on the news. We watch all that feel good news. That's
Okay,
what it
so
is.
my future husband out there, you would win me over if you planted me
Right.
sunflowers.
Right. See, listen, send your applications to
Right.
AthenaAfterDark.com. We will definitely vet you before we send on the other ones. We got it. We have a criteria.
Yes, sunflowers for sure. And 2
Right.
donkeys. Ellie Rain says sunflowers are happy flowers. They sure are. They're my
They
happy
sure
flower.
are. She's
sure.
so incredible too. I love her. She's amazing.
We don't
Yeah,
see
she is.
comments
I
on
have
this.
sunflowers in my house right now. I just
Nowhere.
went and bought a bouquet of sunflowers.
That's awesome. And we'll ask Miss Gina because she knows how. I think if you go on that chat thing over there, you see that thing on the bottom there. It says chat. That's where all the messages are, honey.
Yep.
Hey, there you go. There they are. Okay, so we didn't get to see any of your messages, but I love you all, and you know that. So we're just talking along.
I
with
can
Miss
see
Gina.
all of them.
Oh, geez,
Well, it's
we
too
could
funny
show
because, like I said, our streaming thing, we were doing the Be Live thing. And
Yeah.
then all of a sudden I went on today and it said it couldn't post to Facebook. I'm like, well, that's kind of dumb because that's 3 of my channels. So, okay. So then we went to Restream and I've been working with it a little bit, but this is Don's first time. And look at everybody out there. I love it. Ellie,
Yeah.
Jose, Larry,
Yeah, and Liz Reedy.
Dazzlin. I love it. It's so
Dazzlin.
awesome.
Liz Reedy
Okay.
is from down under. She's from Australia.
Oh, yeah? How cool is that?
Rogue.
Well, hello. And Rogue, and we got John Baker, and wow, we're just having a great night tonight. I love
what
it.
is
See?
that?
What is that?
It says Open Road Radio.
Yep.
Oh, that's too funny. That's Dazzlin, right? Oh, is that the producer? Mine is her shirt flying off. Oh, that's from earlier. I think those are earlier comments because we were talking about that earlier. Her shirt was flying off. Miss Dazzlin was.
Oh, did somebody say that?
Yeah, it's too funny. See, they're paying attention. They were watching the doubleheader. We should have had a quiz.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, we should have, right?
That's it.
I didn't know
So-
that was there.
Okay. Don now knows that the comments are over there. So we're going to get this down. 26 years, there's always some shit. Boy, howdy, is there always some shit.
Oh, yeah, there is.
And then
That's what
The
makes it
camera's
fun.
the camera's like right here, and I look like this big giant balloon because it's right
No,
in your
you
face.
don't.
I
You
love
look
it. It's
great.
so funny.
I love the
I got it.
flag.
My studio. Yeah, because we're in the bedroom because, again, someday it's just all going to work out well, and we're just going to have an adventure anyways. There's always something.
You got a camera in the bedroom for Athena After Dark.
Yeah, it's a
I know he's so weak.
it's a I took a picture of it. It's in a box it's a top of a legal box. He's got the tripod, the light, and the microphone. And then in front of me there's the big screen TV, and he's got it plugged in so I can see you and all the other stuff. And there's still a note that says look at the camera, because how am I supposed to look at the camera if I'm looking at all this other stuff, right?
I love that he's got a note
Funny.
there for you.
He's
That's
so good. Oh yeah, he's good to me. He is really good to me.
When we did
All
the
right.
studio in the garage, we have these signs, and they would be in plastic, and they would have to. And one of the co-hosts made them up, Kenny. And there's like 3 minutes left. Applause. They were all.
Yeah, that's
I was
cool.
like, what? It's like,
That is so funny.
I'm like,
That's hilarious.
crazy, man.
I tell him that. So the program we were using before had like a prompter on it,
Yeah.
so you could read from it. But it's kind of dumb because you're trying to read from it and then you're doing your best to look at the camera. But then it's that same thing where it's like you get all excited and then you see something coming up and you're just like, okay. But yeah, so when we stopped using it, he says to me, he's like, you want me to make you cue cards, honey? I'm like, yeah, babe.
Oh, I'm going to tell you what. I used to write. Well, you saw my lineup that I do every week.
Yeah.
I used to write up stuff and have to read it. I was nervous on radio. I would have to read, everything. And this is so much. This is like just natural,
Right.
with the internet now. God, radio's changed so much.
Yeah, but again, when you're a people person, it's always incredible to pull that out of somebody, because we're usually used to talking to people about stuff. So I have one last request. And then, so if lastly you would tell us your 5 good things. 5 good things
What?
you're grateful for, thankful for.
Oh, I am very grateful for, again, this show and being with you.
Thank you.
I mean, it's really shows a person's, in both of us, agility and compassion. I mean, look, we knew each other 20 years ago, and here we are, we're back, full circle. So I love full circle relationships. You know, I'm still, you know, like best friends with my ex and my son's father and my daughter's father. You know, I'm grateful for the people in my life. I'm grateful for where I am now. You know, I used to be wild and crazy and mad. You know, very short temper. I attribute it to my being Italian, but I think it was just stupidity. But you know, and nothing phases me anymore. I'm not bothered by anything. I'm really at peace with so much, and I'm really happy where I'm at. I wish I would have been more like this, you know, 20 years ago even. I'm committed, and I really like being committed to something. I like being on time and having schedules. I've got my daily things to do list, which I do every single day. I'm a little old school like that, but I got to do it.
I carry a book. I have a book.
Yeah, I like tangible.
Yeah,
I like to be tangible. I'm not going to put it on my phone and look at my phone for that. I'm grateful for my family. I've got great grandgirls, and yeah, and my son is awesome. My daughter, and yep, that was 5, wasn't it?
It was 5. That was 5.
Yeah, I'm really.
The Panhead was in there. That was at the top of the list. She just kind of skipped over it because everybody should know that.
Yeah,
the Panhead's at the top of the list.
Yeah, my Panhead, of course.
Of course. We knew that. We just got excited there for a moment about other things. Sounds like, what about the Panhead?
Yeah.
My husband is a Panhead fan. I'm a Silverhead girl, but he loves Panheads.
Yeah. What does he ride?
He has a 93 Springer Softail.
Nice.
And then what is that? A 2001 cop bike? The Blues. We call it the Bluesmobile from the Blues Brothers. Because it's a bike. Yeah, one of his brothers gave him a cop bike, and it's a long story, but yeah, it's a cop bike, and it painted like a Chicago PD cop car. So
really,
it's
I'd love to see that.
Yeah, we call it the Bluesmobile. It's just
I'd love to see. I used to work with oh gosh, what is his name? The Blues Brothers. You know, they were reenactors, but I went to school with Jimmy Belushi, and at Wheaton Central.
That's cool.
He was the youngest one, and then Jimmy or Jeff? Jimmy.
John
was the oldest one. And then the second one, he was an actor too.
Jeff.
Jim. I think it was that Jim?
Yeah,
the second one. So it must have been Jeff then, because I know they were John. They were all J's. So I went to school with Jeff, and it was really cool because they shot that here in Joliet, and
it's so crazy because I'm familiar with Joliet, but it's nuts because so like being from Chicago. When we
I can't believe that. I can't believe that. I either didn't remember that or didn't know that. I'm so excited.
My dad grew up on Taylor Street. My uncles had on Rush Street. So the Whiskey A Go-Go.
James.
The Whiskey A Go-Go, that was my family's club. So,
really?
Yes.
Oh my God. My mother went there.
My mom used to go dance there. So that's
my mother
story.
used to go dance, and she went there. I bet they knew each other.
They probably did. And then in the 60s, they had the Castle Steakhouse. It was this giant castle. And it was where was that? That was on the south. It was on the south side.
Wow.
Side. Yeah, that was and my Aunt Nene had bars. Everybody, they had the truck stop outside, and then outside of town, and my uncle ran the girls out of there. Yeah, it's all that.
Oh my God, that's
everybody had a job. And so
when
we talk to the kids nowadays, like we go to the gas station, whatever, I'll talk to the kids and we'll talk about movies and stuff. And I'm like, ever seen the Blues Brothers? They're like, what? And I'm like, you haven't lived until you've seen the Blues Brothers.
Yeah.
But Charlie Musselwhite, who does my intro, Dan Aykroyd's character was fashioned after Charlie Musselwhite.
Oh,
He carries the
really?
briefcase,
Okay.
the whole 9 yards. Yeah, and
Yeah,
that's
yeah.
his history. In his
Really? I didn't
bio,
know that.
in his bio, they talk about that. So, and he plays the
Uh,
harmonicas like nobody's business. So
that's so cool.
it's
We
super
know
cool.
so many people in it.
We're
Isn't
so
that?
lucky.
Yeah,
It is
really,
super cool.
really lucky. Really,
Well,
really
I
happy.
can't thank you enough for being here and for having me on your show. That was awesome fun.
A
It was
double
a
hitter, baby.
double header. Yeah, right. With a pee break in between. How lucky
Yeah,
are we? We
yep,
actually got
just
to
a pee
do
break.
that.
And
Just
it
a pee
wasn't
break.
even my pee break, it was the dogs because I had them
Yes,
locked
Can't
in the
do
room.
that with the
exactly.
internet too.
Right.
Couldn't do that shit if it wasn't the
Oh,
internet.
yeah.
Right.
The internet, we wouldn't be able to do that.
Yeah.
Otherwise, we'd be
Oh,
in person.
yeah. Yeah, no
Boy,
kidding.
how times
I'm
have
thankful
changed.
for how easy radio is these days.
Yeah, right?
You don't
No
have to go to the
doubt.
station anymore.
Well, and two, we were talking about we have so much to be thankful for. And, this holiday, it's good to share that with someone that you've known for a long time and really not got a chance to sit down and just find out that info.
Yeah,
So,
really.
and
Well, and now I know I need to turn the tables and do that to you now. I'm
you're
going to
so
come up
funny.
with my own list.
That's fine. I'm good with that. I'm a good
Good,
sport. I don't mind. And when
good.
you
We're
guys
going to
get
do that.
buried in snow and you're just tired of it and you want to come down and visit, we're here. It's always
I'm
at least
Yes. Well, I'm
60,
going to come down and
50.
work. We've got some work
Yeah,
to
yeah.
do.
Yeah, let's do
Bring
that for
you in on
sure.
that. Yeah,
Well, I
that'll
can't
be
thank you
fun.
enough for being here. I
Me
hope that
too.
you have a wonderful, wonderful holiday. Enjoy your Thanksgiving. Give John and your son our best, the grandbabies, all that stuff. Tell
Yeah.
the pups when you give them a cookie next time that it's from me. I appreciate that. Got to get
I do it
everybody in
all the
there.
time, probably right after the show. She
That's
thanks you
great.
for being good and quiet and sleeping.
Yeah, it's all good. Well,
You
I
are
appreciate
awesome.
it.
I hope you and
You
Don
are
have a
too.
fabulous Thanksgiving. I had
Thank
so
you.
much fun with you today, the
Me
most fun
too.
I've had in a long time. So I
And
really
so
appreciate
after
it.
the holiday, we'll chat. We'll get together and we'll
Yes.
get
Yeah.
together with the law firm stuff.
Let's get
All
some
right.
stuff together. All right, lady.
Sounds good.
You
All
rock.
right.
All right.
Mwah, you too. Have a good one.
Bye-bye.
All right. Bye. Everybody, thank you so much. You guys are so amazing. What an amazing show. I'm so lucky, you guys, to tell you that every time. So I see all these cool messages on the side, all of them. And I'm so grateful to all of you. And I'm sorry that I didn't see that Don didn't know where the chat button was. I just learned that today, though, so I can't say that I was that much farther ahead of him. You guys are all amazing. I'm so grateful that you tuned in. I'm going to quick give you my afterthought, and we'll put it to a close. So this week is Thanksgiving. Like I said earlier tonight, there's so much to be thankful for. If you're thankful and you have a full life and you want to do something kind and generous, take a moment of your time, stop by an elderly center, talk to some people who don't have other people in their life, give them some company, go to a soup kitchen, help serve some food, provide a meal, donate. If you don't have time, donate a meal, drop off a few turkeys or boxes of stuff. Find out if your school, your elementary school near you has a course, all kids bikes course, and are learning to ride bicycles in the preschool year. If not, send us a message. Go out and see what you can do. Go ahead and contact me, and let's get your schools in your area up and riding on bicycles. And let's do some really good stuff. Check out Flying Piston Benefit and be kind to one another. Christmas is right around the corner too. There's a lot of kids that aren't going to have toys and a lot of families that aren't going to have food. So rather than buy somebody close to you a gift, show them what a gift of giving really is and do something that I just mentioned. I hope you guys have a fantastic holiday. I'm so grateful. Remember to be kind to yourself and others. It truly matters. Spread your sunshine, even on rainy days. And well, I guess we'll see you next Monday. And I hope you guys enjoy a full belly, football, friends, family, God, anything that's in your life, that hot rod, cars, motorcycles, you name it, pets, all of it. Just enjoy it and be thankful for it. And for all of you that are missing someone this year at Thanksgiving, put the chair at the table. They'll be there, even though you can't see them. Love you guys. Chopper on. Follow us on Facebook. Go to the website, see the calendar, share. Thanks.